we've got here. All right. So Shadman. Shadman, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mufti. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, it's
Right.
been a
What's
long
going
time.
on?
Just wanted to
It
come by.
has.
Yeah. Um,
I appreciate it, man. It's
how's
good.
like
It's good to
everything
see.
going? Yeah.
Things are good. Lillahi alhamd.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Allah be praised. Things are epic, awesome. You know,
Awesome. Yeah.
blissful.
Same here. Yeah. I'm just finishing up my last year in high school, and then I'm off for university. So, yep.
Wow. Okay.
More or less
What are
heading
you What
into.
are you gonna do at uni?
Yeah. I'm planning on going into engineering. I've already gotten a lot of the
Okay.
acceptances. So, alhamdulillah on that.
Okay.
Uh,
Alhamdulillah. That's
yeah, I'm
good.
proud of myself actually on this. So, yeah, and then later on, inshallah, I'm thinking may as well like go into like maybe theological studies for later on. Maybe become like another mufti like you, for like the new generation of
Yeah.
Muslims, of course, right?
I think.
So
Yeah. I think. You know. Yeah. I think the Islamic stuff as a passion, and always keep yourself um, self-sufficient and independent financially.
correct, yes,
So it's
definitely,
always important to be financially independent, and
that's
then the
exactly,
dini stuff is more a passion.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's there's a saying that you do your secular degrees first, and then right after you do like your whatever studies you have as a passion. But there's that, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Mufti,
That's it.
I
Yep.
just had like one quick question for you.
Sure.
I know you studied under a Sheikh, the Don Sheikh Khubza, right? Of like
Sidi
Morocco or
Khubza, yeah.
whatnot, right? So I know he has a chain that goes. He's actually, as you mentioned, the son-in-law of Sidi Ahmed Al-Ghumari, radiallahu anhu. So
He's, yeah.
actually, I actually got up. I think I've seen one of your videos before of where he actually gave a book review on this book, Musnad Al-Jinn by so it's like it's actually I'm not gonna lie, it's actually quite interesting. My
Mhm.
Arabic isn't the best, right? It's kind of broken, but like I'm actually able to read this, so I'm actually proud of myself. So
What's the name of the popular jinn again? The
Shamharush,
main one.
Shamharush, Shamharush.
Shamharush.
Yeah.
Shamharush.
So apparently
That's
the
it.
Shamharush is
Shamharush.
like another version of Bukhari, another version of like Abu Huraira, who non-stop
I-
narrates. And I said,
In the jinn,
yeah,
world, yeah,
in the
yeah.
jinn
He's
world,
like
exactly.
he's the biggest narrator of the jinn, isn't he? He
He's
has
like the
like the
Abu
most
Huraira of
hadith
like the
from
jinn
the
world,
jinn. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
As a
yeah.
matter of fact, there's actually a story, in the Quran in Surah Al-Jinn when it says, "Qul uhiya ilayya annahu istama'a nafarun min al-jinni faqalu inna sami'na Qur'anan ajaba," right? Apparently,
Yeah.
Sham Harush was actually one of the jinns that was actually like apparently witnessing the recitation of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam when he was reading the Quran. So I find that quite intriguing. But I just had one question. What are your thoughts on like or the overall like the Ghumari school in general? Because I don't know, Sheikh Ahmed Al Ghumari, for me, I find him in my opinion, from the times of Imam Suyuti till the 20th century, 21st century, I'd say. I think the best muhaddith of this era was probably Sidi Ahmed al-Humari. I think he surpasses Albani in this case. But yeah, what are
Oh
your
yeah.
thoughts on like the Humari brothers in general? Or, yeah,
Yeah, sure. I mean, so the Ghumari brothers are, it's a whole family. Ghumara is something which was known for scholars previously as well. It wasn't something that they
correct.
just kind of emerged out of nowhere. But they are huge. Obviously, they kind of come at a time where there's other ulama as well from the uh, or in, or they're kind of nested in a backdrop of other great, like the Kattanis, Abdul Hayy al-Kattani, Muhammad ibn Ja'far al-Kattani, all these kind of great
Thanks, yeah,
muhaddith Moroccan kind of scholars. And Abdul Hayy al-Kattani was huge. He was
he
huge.
was, yeah,
Um, and so he has his, I have it somewhere, I think it's in 3 volumes, all his asanid. And they are the asanid that Sheikh Sidi Bou Khubza kind of goes through. Obviously, there is through Sidi Al Ghumari as well, into that as well. But so yeah, so from the Ghumaris, you've got Sidi Ahmed Al Ghumari, who's the eldest, and he kind of has his own, he has some innovative thoughts. I like the way that he's prepared to think out of the box. He's obviously really talented with hadith. Um, yeah, and you read his works, like his I've forgotten what it's. I've got a few of his works, but he has this one istidrakat or something upon the Hufad, where he kind of um, he apprehends and amends um, certain works of the, or when I say works, but just certain issues of the works of the muhaddithin. So
Yeah.
he'll say, Bayhaqi said this, a riwayah was here, but Bayhaqi said this is the only riwayah. However, here's another one. Or this person said this was never transmitted. Here it is transmitted. This guy said this has been transmitted multiple times. No, it hasn't. This, but it's like he's kind of just doing a like editing, not editing exactly, but he's just kind of
embellishments, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of critiquing.
Yeah.
And more than any, it's not even critiquing. In a way, he's just catching them out on certain shortcomings. And
I've
if
recognized
anything,
that quite a bit, actually. As a matter of fact, you probably know Sheikh Hassan Saqaf, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Sheikh Hassan Saqaf, I think he studied under Sidi Abdullah al-Ghumari. So yeah, actually, I've read there's a book he has called Emir Muawiyah, for instance. I know the Ghumaris are quite harsh on Sayyidina Muawiyah. I know. I'm like sort of in the middle.
A bit. Yeah.
Exactly. So they are quite Shia inclined when it comes to Sayyidina Muawiyah. So what I found very interesting is that even Sheikh Ahmad al-Ghumari, whenever Dhahabi tries to weaken a particular hadith or whatnot, or tries to weaken something that's quite slanderous to Bani Umayyah, Sidi Ahmed will just go after him and actually attack Dhahabi on this. I've seen this quite a bit. He does attack quite a bit.
He does. Like,
Very
the
direct.
thing is that, look, I think Sidi Ahmed al-Ghumari is, as an individual, he's huge. As a, look, anybody that can pull that off in a non-digital age,
facts. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? But then you do have this other, you have all these kind of stories and anecdotes and not even anecdotes really. You have people, because the Ghumaris, what it is that they all kind of unleashed on one another. Not all of them,
They did
but
have some type of rivalry. Yeah, I've recognized.
So they, not just rivalry, like, I mean, they
more
ripped each other to shreds. Like, so, you're going to have Sidi Abdullah al-Ghumari, you're going to have, obviously, I mean, you got Sidi Ahmed, but then you've got Sidi Abdullah, you'll have Abdul Aziz, and they are ripping each other's works to pieces, calling each other ignorant, and they are exposing one another. Like, so if you read their exposés of each other, this is where you find the kind of gossip, so to speak, because obviously who else is going to tell you? So when I've forgotten which one is exposing Sidi Ahmed.
It's probably Sidi Abdullah, I think, where he speaks about the ijazat, right? Where he
so the ijazat are hilarious, so he says, like, he's trying to show that he has all these extra ijazat, and so what he'll do is he will say, right, I've got ijazah, and then he'll say to his wife, and he goes, I don't know, in the book they say his wife can barely read and write.
He says
to her
exactly,
he says to her, look, listen, I'm giving you ijazah, okay? Just say yes. So she says yes, and he says, okay, now give it back to me. So she says yes. So then he puts her as, like, with this high nasab, this kind of
like a big tribal name,
this big tribal woman who also gave me ijazah in hadith. So it's kind of beefing up his CV. And I guess in many ways, one could argue that's a bit like today, people doing things with social media, to kind of beef up their profile and to kind of gain more views and do clickbait. And in some ways, one could argue that's kind of translates to it's a different mechanism, but it's, the result that the person wants is that kind of pompous, kind of a grandiose amplification of themselves. So but I mean, obviously they are huge. I know Sheikh Sidi Bukhubza was once asked, he's got his, where he's asked about, is it true that he knew all of Bukhari by heart, and is it true he knew all of it? And he says, of course not. It's hilarious. But it is, I think, look, they were, they were phenomenal, but it shouldn't detract just because somebody says something funny about them or they find something funny. It doesn't mean that they were ignorant or nobodies. They were obviously clearly somebody of some great significance. That's why they managed to make all the noise that they did.
And as a matter of fact, I think it was Sidi Abdullah al-Ghumari, rahimahullah, where I think He was a student of Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari, you know, the dawn of the Hanafi madhab. Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari is someone I have like a lot of respect for. Like he is, his personality overall, I love him. So I know like even Abdullah al-Ghumari, he has an ijazah I think, from Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari. But then later on, like once I think Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari passes away, Abdullah al-Ghumari like writes a book just on attacking Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari. I've seen that quite a bit, yeah, hearing that. But
Yeah, they didn't used to like each other. The Ghumaris and because Zahid al-Kawthari is very hardline Hanafi.
he defended, in fact, I think if I'm not wrong, in his Ta'tib when he refutes Khatib al-Baghdadi, Ta'nib, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he goes on like destroy, like I don't want to use the word destroy, but like he will critique many of the Salaf and stuff. I find it quite like in order to defend Imam Abu Hanifa, of course, yeah. So
this is where I first, I'm pretty sure that's where I first read, unless I'm mistaken, but that's where I read through Zahid al-Kawthari first exposing Ibn Hajar, saying Ibn Hajar was, you know, he's kind of how he was and stuff like this with women. And but that's many years ago when I was a student. Ibn al-Asqalani, because he attacks him as well for attacking the Hanafis. So yeah, but it's fun and games. You know, these things, I think, you know what, people, look, they were all in their own right academic scholars. You know, they were all kind of people who dedicated a lifetime to learning, and doesn't matter what flavor they took in the end. And sometimes they did this, you know, when a person does this, they get embroiled themselves in that dynamic. It's okay, you know, you might take sides, and they're kind of doing it for that reason. They're having a match. So when, you know, if you're watching a boxing match, you're going to be with one side versus the other. So they're doing it with that intention. And so you can get embroiled in, and, you know, you can get all partisan. But I think in the end, at the end of the day, you just have to kind of like realize that, look, they're all people who dedicated a lifetime to studying. And even if they got passion, and passion is good, you know, it's good. Exactly, so yeah. But Shadman, it's been
thank
epic.
you so much. It's awesome talking.
Take care, man. People, that's Shadman, young, as you can see, rising star people. Allahu Akbar. Who have we got here?